Mk5 Toyota Supra. Few modern cars have sparked as much debate as this one. When Toyota brought back the Supra name, expectations were sky high. But what they gave us wasn't quite what we expected. The A90 Supra was built in partnership with BMW and is powered by the B58, a single-turbo inline-six. It had a lot to prove right from day one. But with the Mk5's time coming to an end next year, how does it really hold up? This particular Supra has belonged to Josh for over 2 years now, and he's piled on the miles. This car has seen daily commutes, weekend driving, and everything in between. So today, we're finding out what it's actually like to live with a Mk5 Supra. We'll dig into what it's like to drive, how much it costs to keep on the road, and whether it deserves to wear one of the most legendary badges in JDM history. This is a long-term review of the Mk5 Toyota Supra. So this is Josh, and this is his Mk5 Supra. Josh, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So first question, how long back did you buy the Supra, and how many miles did it have when you bought it?
I got it back in October of 2023.
Okay.
When I bought it, it had 26,000 miles on it.
And how much does it have now?
It has 81,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of miles to put in 2 years.
Yeah, it's my daily. So it's been getting its fair usage.
Nice. And how much did you buy the car for?
I got it for 48,000 out in Paris, Texas.
Okay, so that's a pretty good deal because new these are about 60,
Yeah.
so 48 is a pretty good price for just 26,000 miles.
Yeah, especially I feel like at the time they were definitely marking those prices up as well. That was around the time that the 2023 was on the market. This is the 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And 2023s were listed for 65, 68 grand. So being able to get it for 48, that was a blessing.
Yeah, this 2023 is when the 6-speed manual was added to the lineup, right?
Right.
Those were selling 70, almost 80 sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like those alone just kind of made every other Supra before, skyrocket.
Yeah.
So I had a couple guys asking me for a 68. For a 2020 I looked at, a couple of 2021s out in Houston, they asked for like 67, 68 as well. And that was for the A91. Now, that was a nice, special color, but yeah, that was the issue. I was like, I'm not, for that price, I would have got a 2023 at that point, low mileage, but I wanted white, so this was the white one I found.
Nice. Yeah. So why did you choose to buy a Mk5 Supra?
My dad used to have a 1994 Supra. Had 800 horses to the wheels. So I got to grow up around that. And once it came back out, it just kind of inspired me to try to build, or should I say rebuild, that car. So that's been the goal with this thing. I know it comes
to get
to
it
like
at 800?
Yeah, well, I think I would be okay with like 650.
Okay.
More so speaking cosmetically. I want to build it around the Mark IV cosmetically. So,
nice.
Yeah, man, that's been the goal with this thing. So I'm big on paint matching a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really like that. They like to expose carbon. But yeah, I think the next thing is going to be the Heritage Wing. Maybe paint match the A-pillars. And I might do something with this front bumper some way, somehow.
So, I mean, while we're here, let's talk styling. Mm-hmm. So, the FT1 concept that Toyota revealed about like 2016 or so.
Yes.
They did a fantastic job with that concept. And I like that the Supra ended up looking a lot like the concept car. But what do you think of the styling overall?
I think the styling overall made it more affordable to the market as well. Okay. I do feel like if they actually released that FT1 to the public, it was going to cost us the same as the new GTRs, the new Acura NSX. I feel like that's been the trio.
Yeah.
You see so many mock-ups of those three cars lined up together as like the JDM icons. And once again, if they brought out the FT1 as the mainline Supra, it was going to cost at least 6 figures. And then there's no telling what it would have cost to replace parts on the car and whatnot. So I feel like they did a great job making it affordable to the public and just making it not too flashy,
Yeah. No, and I like the proportions of the car. It's from the side, it's got that Mark IV look almost.
I agree.
So, but the most controversial thing, I guess, has been the headlights. So what do you think about the headlights and specifically that little part that kind of comes in the middle?
I'm partial to it.
Okay.
I do think it does fit the lines of the car, but I also feel like if I was a designer, knowing what the public wanted, I think I may have held off on this part. I may have maybe brought the headlight maybe like 2 inches over, I would say, if I could really explain it the best way possible. 2 inches over, cut this off and just round it out a little bit, maybe mimic the Mark IV a little more.
Gotcha.
That's just about it, you know? But I don't think it's too far off. I think the assembly itself is very similar to the Mark IV as well. When you start looking at the older, the older Supra had the 3 headlights in each assembly, so this one has that.
And since we're talking about cost, one of the main reasons the Supra was able to stick to that $60,000, $70,000 budget is because they partnered up with BMW. And it sparked a little bit of debate. You know, people, the number one criticism about the Mark V is it's just a BMW.
Right.
But that's not really a bad thing.
No, not at all. If you want to get down to the nitty gritty and be realistic, a lot of car companies are doing that now.
Cost savings, you know?
Exactly.
You partner up on a powertrain.
And I think this is a powerhouse at this point. BMW gets a lot of respect as far as their engineering goes.
Oh, for sure.
And of course, there's just the Supra itself. You know, everyone's big on the 2JZ.
So the B58 engine is used in a lot of other BMWs too. So the M340i, for example, if you have an M40 on any car, like an X3, X4, X5, 3 Series, whatever, you're going to have the B58 engine. So it's in a lot of cars, and it is relatively reliable, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, granted, I've put 60,000 miles in this thing and haven't had any issues just maintaining oil changes. Spark plugs, of course. I feel like spark plugs actually do play a big part in the performance of these cars.
And we'll talk about reliability maybe when we go for a drive.
Gotcha.
So let's go for a little walk around the car, and maybe let's talk about performance and mods, things like that.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
All right.
So Josh, let's talk mods, and let's start off with some cosmetic mods, because I see you have a couple of, little visible things going on.
Yeah. So first thing I'll point out is the front air diverters from A90 shop.
Okay.
Just add a little bit of downforce. Not that I'm pushing any crazy power or anything, but it really helps keep that front end of the car down. The car naturally tends to lift up when you get on the gas.
Oh, really?
But I do feel like these have had a dramatic effect on keeping the car down in the front.
And I love that they're carbon fiber. As you guys know, I'm a sucker for carbon fiber. A carbon fiber is to add carbon fiber. Carbon fiber, did I say that enough? So I love that. And what else you got going on?
Yeah, so if you're a sucker for carbon fiber, these are aftermarket fenders from Rex Speed, and side pods. These are also carbon fiber.
These are carbon fiber?
They're paint matched, yep.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, they have the vent in the side. There's a couple other options with the vent that comes a lot longer, a lot higher up the fender, and then there's some that just kind of cut that vent off and they kind of dip behind that front wheel.
Okay.
The people that have these, the wheel tends to kick up a lot of dirt and grime on the side of the car already, so didn't want to have to deal with that. So I went with something that kind of stayed true to the body lines, just gave a little more of an aggressive side profile to it.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, added that in the side pod at the bottom, which is also carbon fiber with paint matched.
Nice. And then the best place to make mods is the engine.
Yeah.
So why don't we pop the hood and have a look?
Let's get to it. Gotta pull it twice for BMW.
So performance mods, what all do you have going on?
So I have engine charge pipes installed. For those that don't know, the factory charge pipe was just this one single plastic pipe that it was almost kind of compressed in certain areas as well, I guess, to pass emissions. So that was one of the first upgrades that I did. The HKS intake was installed by the previous owner, so that was a bonus. I think HKS has a history of JDM, as we all know, so I wasn't going to change that. And then I have a catted active auto work downpipe down there.
Nice.
I went the catted route because I have PTSD from the 370, the check engine light going into limp mode and everything.
Yeah.
So I didn't know too much about the BMW platform getting into it. So I heard about the check engine light. Didn't want any issues with catless, but I might upgrade it to a catless. But also at the same time, I think the cat it gives the car a nice low rumble to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He may stay. Who knows? But yeah, outside of that, Tomei exhaust extended to the back end, single
Nice.
exit. So that's it.
Okay. And do you know approximately how much of a power boost you've gotten from all the mods?
I don't.
Okay.
If I had to guess, if the ECU was unlocked,
Yeah.
if it is, like I said, I haven't checked that either.
Yeah.
But if the ECU is unlocked, I might be pushing around, I would assume like 430, 435.
Yeah, that's
Maybe slightly higher. As far as I've heard, the Supras by the book, 2021s and up, were 382 horses.
yeah.
But when you dyno them, they push
They
out
always
400.
make more. It's
Yeah.
BMW thing. They always make more power than the BMW says it
For
makes.
sure. For sure. So, yeah,
So
man,
that's a good number of mods, and like if that 500 horsepower is usable on
Right.
the road, like after that it just gets a little scary,
yeah.
right?
I agree.
So any future plans for mods and upping that performance number?
I really think the only thing I might do is upgrade the turbo, maybe intake manifold. After that, everything else that comes with that is going to be okay with me. But essentially just working to push out maybe like 600 horses.
Okay.
Those that know me, I'm more of a backroads twisty type of guy. So I don't ever plan on using 800 or 900 horses in a scene like that. So I think 550 to 600 is going to be perfect.
That's a good amount,
Yeah.
for sure. And so while we're here, let's talk B58, right? This is a 3-liter inline 6. Toyota made this car with a 4-cylinder, a 2-liter 4-cylinder. I forget which years it came out for, but I think it was 24 and 25.
I think they stopped production in 24.
They
if I
did,
remember
and
correctly.
probably for the best.
Yeah.
Like this car, it deserves so much more than a 4-cylinder, right?
agree.
You gotta go with the 6-cylinder. If you're in the market for one, ignore the 4-cylinder. Just go with the B58.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like with this being one of Toyota's flagship cars, I don't think the 4-cylinder should have ever been an option. However, I will play devil's advocate. A couple of my peers do have the 4-cylinder. They're just as quick, and there's so much space in the engine bay to work with.
Oh, that's a good point.
So I feel like it's a great platform, essentially, just because of how much space there is to actually maneuver around the engine whenever you want to do work. And then once again, like if you take it on the back roads, you're keeping right up with us. You know, they're still essentially quick.
Yeah, and that's a great point about packaging, because the B58 does take up quite a bit of space here in the engine bay. So, performing any sort of maintenance work, especially down in the turbos, that it seems like it'd be a pretty difficult job getting down there.
I would say, you can say yes, but on the flip side, comparing to other cars, no. Like I said, I used to have a 370Z. I didn't do any work to it, and one of the reasons was because I watched a couple of videos, and some of those videos you have to take the entire bumper assembly off and everything. I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing all that. But this, man, the downpipe, all we did was jack this thing up, worked from the top here, worked from the bottom, got that switched out.
Nice.
Charge pipes, same thing. I mean, it's so much space right here.
Yeah.
The only thing that made the factory charge pipe hard to get out was just the awkward shaping of it, and really just being lazy, taking some like the strut bars out and everything.
Yeah.
You can take those out, but you don't have to. You can manage without taking all that out. But
For sure.
yeah, but I mean, it's fairly really easy to work on. I think that's why I've actually done some of those mods to this car.
Nice.
So,
And let's keep talking about mods as we move to the back of
For
the
sure.
car, because you said you've got an exhaust on
Yeah.
it, right?
Yep, I
All right,
do.
let's go have a quick look at that.
cool.
So I like the exhaust setup, but you took away the dual tips.
Yeah. So one thing that I was big on was paying homage to the Mark IV. Like I said, I'm rebuilding this after my dad's Supra that he had. And the dual exhaust, I've heard that you can upgrade them and push out so much power, upgrading 2 pipes rather than 1. But I'm big on just paying homage, really.
This is very much a Mark IV look. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I also feel like it's a JDM look, I feel like a lot of the JDMs, Evos, 3000 GTs, like, didn't they all come with single exit exhaust, if I'm not mistaken?
3000 GT? VR
Maybe the 3000
4s?
had the...
I think they did.
The
Yeah,
dual.
and
They may have had dual, I'm not sure.
Correct us in the comments. Don't have a picture handy. But yeah.
Skylines came
Yeah.
with singles. So, yeah, I just thought it'd be right. So yeah, this is a Tomei single exit. Previous owner installed that.
Nice.
I think the only thing I would change about it is probably just adjusting it to where I can lift it to really fill up that that slot for the exhaust, because it's kind of sitting a little low.
Okay.
Haven't really had time to adjust it or anything, but that's a goal.
And it looks like the taillights are another homage to the Mark IV. Is that correct?
Yeah. So essentially, the market tends to have a lot of just all red LEDs. And I think at the time I got those, the only ones that were out were like some like rounded rectangular shaped LEDs. So it was almost paying homage, but it wasn't enough for me.
Nah, you gotta go the round look.
So I went with the round look. These are from Loeva Incorporated. I think they're based out of Hawaii, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
They're a smaller company.
And while we're back here, why don't we talk practicality briefly?
Yeah.
Because you do daily drive this car, and
Yes.
it is daily drivable.
For sure.
But trunk space isn't exactly great, is it?
Depends on who you're talking to. For me personally, I would say it's more than practical.
Okay.
The trunk is actually really deep. So whenever we've hit the road, we load up duffel bags. We load up our Frenchie in the back just to keep them cozy.
Yeah, let's pop
let's pop it.
The trunk and have a look.
All right, so I mean, as you can see, there's my detailing bag in the back.
Nice.
Motorcycle helmet, and there's ample space. And of course, you can
Bring these
attach
down
this here, and you even have space on top.
Okay.
And that's quite a bit of space before you even get to touching the back windshield.
Yeah, I honestly thought the trunk would be a lot smaller, but I see what you're saying. It's pretty deep, so you could definitely fit one or two suitcases.
More than practical, if you ask me.
Cool. And then let's have a quick look in the interior too, because that's another BMW special, isn't it?
Yep. It was new to me, but I've done some fun things to it.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy, but
let's have a quick look.
Sure.
So sitting in the interior, you can definitely see a lot of BMW there, right?
Yeah.
So the HVAC controls, some of the radio controls, the gears. I mean, this is definitely all BMW. Like with the entertainment. Do you think Toyota should have tried to differentiate themselves from BMW a little bit in the interior?
I do think they should have maybe included, I guess, a couple more gauges. I think they could have done that, and then maybe just angled the entertainment center here more towards the driver, kind of like the Mark IV Supra was. I feel like they tried to do that here with this little console, but it's not necessarily angled to the driver like that Mark IV was.
Yeah, and
I think that's what made that car special.
We had a Mark IV on the show, and we'll put the link in the description below. But yeah, everything was very much cockpit. Yeah. Everything was turned towards the driver. So I definitely see what you're saying. This is more luxury, right?
I agree. I agree. And that's why I would be a little biased in saying that I think it's perfectly fine. Yeah. Because there's not many, I would say, Japanese sports cars or even American sports cars that have quality interior. So I do feel like this is acceptable, especially for the cost. I mean, with the factory carbon fiber you get too, carbon fiber is a key component to a lot of car enthusiasts right now. So yeah, man, I think it's great. Yeah, and speaking of carbon fiber, I think you it looks like you have some aftermarket stuff going on. Yeah, with the red accents. So kind of talk me through that. This actually looks pretty good. Thank you. So I tried not to overdo it, but I also wanted to do something that was different than what everyone else did. Not because I want to be different, but just something that speaks solely to me. Yeah, that I've never seen before. Given that the car has the red accents on the outside, I thought it'd be fun to bring them inside. So that's where I went with. Yeah, so like I see it on the steering wheel, the gears, and the behind the seats too. Is that aftermarket? Yeah, so they're naturally silver. It's just a little pop one piece, just to give the car a different look again. No, it's all about personalizing your car to you. So I absolutely love that. But you know what? Let's go for a spin and let's kind of see how the car performs. Sounds like a plan. Let's do it. All right. So before we get driving, if you're liking this video so far, please give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Josh, let's hit it. Alrighty.
driving the Mk5 Supra. So now you mentioned you have 86,000 miles on it.
Yes.
So have you had any reliability issues?
I mean, as far as reliability aspect, like I said, oil changes, spark plug changes.
Yeah.
It's really the main thing. Outside of that, the car's been perfectly fine. Doesn't give me any issues.
Let's do a quick pull.
Cool. All right.
Nice. Wow. Okay, that built up really, like you were doing a low speed and all of a sudden it just took off.
Uh-huh.
Wow. And I love the turbo noise coming from there
Yeah.
too. I mean, I'm a sucker for turbos, so
Yeah, so I guess that's been one of my favorite things about this car. I've never had a turbo car in the past. So just being able to hear those noises and like knowing like that's what my dad experienced back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, this is sick. But yeah, man, in comfort, you get to hear the wastegate release.
okay.
You get to hear that turbo flutter between the gears.
So that was a pull in comfort mode?
Yes.
Okay, so it has more.
It has
is what you're saying.
Yes.
In sport mode.
So sport mode, it kind of stiffens the suspension.
Yeah.
And so it increases throttle response and shift time.
Yeah.
So it just makes driving a little more aggressive.
Okay.
And then between the shifts, you hear like, I like to describe it as like a fart noise. So you don't really get to hear like that turbo flutter or the wastegate releasing pressure at all. You just hear
that's very much a BMW. Right?
Yeah. Which that was another thing that was new to me because coming from a 370, you don't really hear anything between the gears. It's just, it was naturally aspirated. So yeah, man, it was just, I mean, hearing that took some getting used to. First time I heard it, I was like, something happened with the car. Like, what's going on?
Do you want to do a quick pull here?
Yeah, we can do it. So we're in sport now. I'm gonna put it in manual too.
Okay. Nice.
So that's that little fart noise you hear. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So turn right. Yeah, that turbo noise is that's nice, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I can definitely see how addicting this car could be, you know?
For sure.
So what is one thing that you really love about the car, apart from the turbo noise?
Apart from the turbo noise, I really love the comfort of the car.
Okay.
And the 370, and once again, that's the previous sports car I had. Just comparing the two, 370, when you got on the gas, if it was some slick conditions, the car wanted to get sideways. The car wanted to get sideways very easily. And once it did, it was almost like you didn't really have control of the car. And then, everyone's going to be a little biased and say, oh, it doesn't have that much power to you're losing control.
Yeah.
People don't realize that being in high school with a car with 300 horses, it's enough to get sideways if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
So with that thing, I mean, the steering wheel comfort was a little loose in the 370. This thing, man, I've power slid this thing left and right.
So what are some of the things you hate about the car?
People are going to be biased with me on this.
Okay.
I don't like all the sensors. I feel like the car's a little too sensitive.
Yeah.
To where it's almost scary for someone like me coming from seeing check engine lights, car going into limp mode.
Okay.
Once I hear a chime or something, I'm like, oh, what's wrong?
Yeah.
And in the 370, that was, whatever was wrong was detrimental. And it was like, it made the car not drivable really, or like not fully functional. Whereas this, you get a certain chime, it's like, oh, dang it, what is it? Oh, I'm good, I can still keep driving.
Yeah.
I can go however fast I want to and go crazy if I want, So to me personally, that's my biggest pet peeve. Outside of that, I mean, performance, all that mechanical stuff, I think it's super.
Yeah. And for any future Supra owners out there, what is one mod that all A90 Supra owners should make right off the bat?
I personally would say the intake. I think the intake just enhances that air inflow sound.
Okay.
Or air intake sound.
Yeah.
There it is. Without it, my brother having his 45th anniversary, he got his, it was bone stock. And you get to hear like a little bit of that air intake, but you don't really hear much of it.
Okay.
Whereas with an intake, it enhances it. I'll show you now. I'm gonna get on the gas, but since we're in a higher gear, at lower speed, you'll just get to hear some of that air buildup.
Okay.
So let me turn right here. I'm gonna get into a higher gear actually. That way we don't pick up speed too much.
Oh yeah.
So you get to hear a little more of that, you know?
Yeah, you can hear the air coming in. You can also hear the flutter
Yep.
as soon as you let off the gas. And the engine's not at a high RPM, so it's not drowning out the air sound.
Not at all, exactly.
I see what you mean.
So, yeah, I would say the intake.
Awesome, dude. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. And how about a long-term review of a Mk5 Supra? We'll put that video up on screen. Thanks for watching.